Vincent is a wonderful gentleman who came to us in February 2016, all the way from New York. He had been living over there and was actually in a care home over in New York. Wasn't very happy with the care there, so he decided he was coming back home. That was his plan. And I got called by his daughter, and that's how he ended up as a resident here in Mount Haglin.
We've learned so much from Vincent, from the first settlers of Ireland through to today. And Vincent's knowledge, the knowledge he shared with us, has also allowed us to come up with our own opinions about the future of history.
We have been part of the education program for Mount Sackville probably since we opened back in 2013. Our transition students come and we do various projects with them. But when I was, I suppose, getting to know Vincent and getting to know his wonderful wealth of knowledge on anthropology, I asked him would he be interested in maybe doing some teaching work with the students this year. It's just a different project. And he was delighted to do so, and then I contacted Mount Sackville and their transition year coordinator was saying that would be great, and we brought a group of 8 students here. So the whole point was that we were going to track the origin of the Irish through history, through art, and actually through music as well. So that project started in September 16. September 16, and it's an ongoing project. This year's group of transition year students will take the next step of it. So it could be a 2 or 3 year project, but of great interest to Vincent and for all of us listening to him as well, because he's just so much knowledge. It's fantastic.
I enjoy teaching everybody, and then this is a nice, interesting young group of people, and it's beautiful to be getting in on the ground floor with them. That is to say, they're teenagers and they're learning what is foremost in world knowledge on very, very complex subjects.
We really got to know all the residents here really well throughout the project, especially Vincent during his history classes which he gave us. And also through doing the art aspect of the project, we were involved with the other residents working alongside them to create all the art pieces, it was really enjoyable because we got to learn about their past and who they are as people, as well as the history during the project.
Well, I suppose initially this was about the students and Vincent, but what actually happened is the staff and the other residents and families started to attend his lectures, so it kind of grew in enthusiasm for all of us wanted to know where we came from in the end. So I probably had the same curiosity than the transition year students had, so it became a very kind of a bonded exercise. And I think for the students that's probably one of the critical success factors, is that they were able to be themselves, they were able to contribute, to argue. And what was really fabulous is towards the end of it, when we were trying to kind of wind up this year's part 1, I suppose, of the project, I did a little exercise with the students and trying to figure out, what has this meant for you? What does it mean for you that you had this experience, which is a different kind of learning experience in school? And they did a series of what we call t-shirt statements, all about Vincent and all about the learning process for them, and all about how it has sort of made them think more deeply about history. All of which they presented to Vincent. They put them all together in a little art piece for Vincent. And there were such things like talking about, we can't disconnect from our history if we're going to improve the future. There were so many, but what I loved was the youthful attitude. One very, very clever student said, it seems to me that it's a different medium, but it's the same fight, that we haven't got it right yet, in other words. And it was that enthusiasm, I think, that it was infectious for all of us. We all got involved, and I'd say that not only did they grow up a bit, but I certainly grew down back to being when it was wonderful being 16 and 17, because I think I was as enthusiastic as they were in the end. And that's what Vincent brought to us. It was that sharing between generations that creates a kind of inequality. It's not parent-child, it's just us together and just enjoying an experience, and he's brilliant at that.
The value of teaching young people is that you don't have to unteach a lot of stuff which they have learned. So young people are open to knowledge in an unbiased fashion. And these people are an example of that.
My own central philosophy, having cared for older people all my very long career at this stage, is that it's about recognising the human in all of us. It's not about age, it's not about disability, it's not about ability. It's actually about the fact that we really are all sharing a journey together and we can enrich each other, and that's what I think this project did. And a lot of the projects that we do, that's the central theme. So we forget about the fact that I'm a nurse and somebody is a patient or a resident. It's about what can we do together to enrich each other. And that's what we do here, and that's what Vincent exemplified, which is why I submitted a nomination for him. I said, this is what we've been talking about all the time. Listen to older people. They have so much to give. He can't walk, but by God, has he got a brain that is, we should all be sponging off. And he is somebody you could listen to forever. And that's actually the key.
The staff is wonderful, the place is fantastic, and everywhere, every member of the staff has been cooperative and helpful. And it's a wonderful staff, great food, half the price of a nursing home in New York.
Vincent, we're so happy to see you win this award. It's honestly an honour to have worked with you, and for all the effort you put in. We hope you have a great night. Enjoy your time.
I think the reaction from the residents was really interesting, because on the one hand they were delighted that one of their neighbours, one of their fellow residents won this award. But I actually noticed an awful lot of them asking me questions about the award, as if to say, really, do people, look at older people like this? And I could see this sense of, I could do that. That kind of very positive view that they had. Obviously the staff were absolutely delighted for Vincent and families and everybody that visited. But it was the residents' reaction and the students' reaction that fascinated me, because I saw them kind of almost lift their shoulders up as if to say, you know what? I often tease them and call them the Grey Panthers, back from a piece that was on the news there one day when they started giving out to Bertie Ahern. And that was one of those days when they said, you know what, there's something to be said for the Grey Panther, there's a lot of power there. And I really spotted that in them. So I think next year we might have a little bit of competition to see who will be nominated, and that's what it's about.
What else can I say? It's, it's a nice place to be.